What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Welcome to the RNEWS morning show. And let's just jump into it. From r/news, Arizona, Mississippi, Montana, New Jersey and South Dakota are voting on cannabis legalization this November. The amount of incarceration and violent activity over what is essentially a victimless crime is unconscionable. You literally have zero reasoning to oppose legal weed and not oppose legal alcohol. Prohibitionism is a hearty scourge in this country. Drug laws have conditioned much of the country. Weed is bad because it's illegal. Same goes for harder stuff. A guy ODs on smack and his dealer is arrested for murder. A guy drinks himself to death at 40 but no one is demanding the liquor store clerk who saw him every day should be locked up. Both are hard drugs capable of killing you in a single sitting, but we as a country can't seem to grasp that. Pharmaceutical, prescription opiates are ruining more lives than pretty much every Schedule I substance. Reminder: Democrats passed a bill in the House to legalize on the federal level. Republicans are blocking it. Vote. Frick you, Texas, get on it. Republicans don't want it on the ballot because they are afraid it would cause a high turnout and the voters would vote them out while they're at the polls. With all the money legal weed brings in, Republicans should be tenting their car keys. Mississippi before New York. Eat my butt, Cuomo. It was never going to happen in NY until it happened in NJ. NJ was always going to be a test subject to feel out the situation. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, CNN kicks Trump advisor off air after he refuses to address Woodward revelations. Well crap, there's a private corporation enforcing its own policies. I'm sure conservatives will respect their private business decisions. We need to stop cancel culture. Also, we need to boycott CNN and pass laws controlling what they air. Quote, something cake, something something Twitter hates conservatives. Another free market decision which the right should totally support. Because they like private companies being able to do what they want. Navarro never had any business being on a news show anyway. He constantly lied and deflected every time. It's a complete waste of everyone's time and energy. All to allow him to please his orange dominatrix. This is how you journalism. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, Fox News poll shows Americans saying Biden is more mentally sound than Trump to serve as president. I'm running for Senate. Oops. I meant president, haha, how embarrassing. To Biden has dementia, let's inject everyone with disinfectant and UV light. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. To actual genius and literal messiah. So that's why Trump is tweeting random right-wing Twitter users this morning that question Biden's mental health. Biden doesn't have dementia. He stutters. Everyone is giving him a hard time because he stutters. How delightfully American. Twitter.com. Who is a douche voting for Trump after he called our vet loser, sucker, dope, and babies? www.youtube.com. Conservative. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, doctor warns Trump's Nevada rally is negligent homicide, people will die. What else could you call an act that because of its negligence results in the death of others? He said, if you have a mass gathering now in the United States in a place like Nevada or just about any other place with hundreds of thousands of people, people will get infected and some of those people will die. I think the second part of his quote is just as strong. There has been a lot of talk about over whether the president played down the risks of this virus to his followers and the country as a whole. And you have to just look at what is going on now to understand that. If you took this virus seriously, you would never hold an indoor rally or almost any rally now, and particularly one that doesn't enforce very strict rules on masks. People will die as a consequence of this. Linked to the clip itself. Dr. Jonathan Reiner is spot on. It's even more disturbing that the campaign is choosing to respond by trying to shift blame to protests or getting people to sign waivers. It's an abhorrent lack of leadership. There has been a lot of talk about over whether the president played down the risks of this virus. I like to downplay it. Least racist person man. Least racist person man woman TV. You forgot camera. You might have dementia. Sorry dude. The ghost of Herman Cain enters the chat. PFFFD. Ghost. Republicans are still using his Twitter account as though he's still alive to vicariously campaign for Team GOP. They've gone full weekend at Herman's and it's disgusting. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/World News. Israel will shut down the nation for 3 weeks to contain the spread of COVID-19. Think Trump will put them on blast like their Big Ten football and accuse them of trying to make him look bad? Fat chance he's putting all his chips on Israel. It's his only lifeline on the foreign policy front. Welcome to the second lockdown club, Israel. Greetings from Melbourne. As someone living in Japan right now, I'm envious of this decisiveness. We pretty much give up at this point. 200 new infections in Tokyo every day. But it's mostly young people and all the companies have corona countermeasures in place, so the overall mood is to just roll the dice and live with it. Everyone keeps saying the same thing, we're doing better than everyone else. I have a strong suspicion that it's because we're still not testing anywhere close to the levels needed. September / October is usually the yearly health checkup season and also when everyone starts getting their influenza vaccine shots, so we'll see how it goes. We're hitting 3,500 a day in UK again. Laughs in America. Crazy that other countries will damage their economies and shut down just to make Trump look bad. I read this book. It doesn't end well for the rest of us. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/News. Hamilton, Texas police chief arrested by Texas Rangers on felony continuous sexual abuse of a child. That's some goddamn good news. I used to work with victims of sexual assault. And since most cases were children, I worked with parents too. In Central Texas, Hamilton wasn't really known for investigating cases thoroughly. Or really at all. A lot of times, CSA victims don't receive justice. And this news is big time justice served. Thanks for what you do. I'm a victim and my sister is too. By our dad for over a decade. Never received justice in Southeast TX. Horrible experience overall. Still in therapy every 2 weeks from it all. Almost 30 now. No one advocated for us except our grandparents, God bless them. Also spend a lot of time in this area and I imagine all the other small towns around here are about the same. So yes, this is good to see. I know a girl that was sexually assaulted just outside of Hamilton as a child. Nothing ever happened to her assailant. Oh look, a member of law enforcement being detained by another member of law enforcement for breaking the law. As it should be. No one is above the law. There sure are a lot of pedophiles in conservative culture. Almost like they have been projecting this whole time. Every accusation is a confession. And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like. And if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show and I'll see you tomorrow.